Taking a live look at downtown Spokane, where it seems pretty quiet on this Saturday, but things are expected to change by this time tomorrow. It's also, of course, a big weekend as the Zags are taking on Creighton University tomorrow in the Sweet 16. Good evening and thanks so much for being with us tonight. I'm Tim Pham. We do have team coverage from Indianapolis. We'll check in with our team there in just a minute, but first, strong winds are expected tomorrow night. The worst of it is expected to hit Spokane and other parts of eastern Washington. Our Michelle Boss is in the outdoor weather tonight tracking the latest. Michelle, how does this one compare to the storm that we saw in January?
So the storm in January had peak wind gusts of 71 miles per hour. This storm looks slightly less intense than that storm, but we're still looking at wind gusts in the 55 to 60 mile per hour range in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area and down towards the Palouse. So that's where we have high wind warnings in effect that will begin at 2 o'clock on Sunday and continue until 5 o'clock Monday morning. Outside the area of strongest winds, in that area shaded in light tan, are wind advisories where we could still see wind gusts upwards of 50 miles per hour. So it's going to be a strong storm. In the meantime, we do have quiet weather out there right now, just starting to see the clouds thicken up across the inland northwest, but otherwise it's been pretty nice. Temperatures have been mild, highs in the 50s and 60s, and right now we're seeing temperatures 53 degrees in Spokane. It's been in the lower 60s in Moses Lake and Othello, 63 in Lewiston, and temperatures in the middle 50s also in North Idaho as well. Here's a look at the next 12 hours. Again, relatively quiet weather. It'll be dry overnight with mostly cloudy skies. Those winds will start to pick up tomorrow afternoon. It'll be breezy. It'll be windy all afternoon, but those strongest winds are expected late afternoon and early evening. One more mild day, 57 degrees tomorrow, and then a big drop in temperatures behind the windstorm. Highs only in the upper 40s on Monday. By Sunday night, we could see a few rain, maybe even a few snow showers briefly in the area, and then we'll start to quiet back down by Tuesday. Look for mostly sunny skies and highs back in the 50s.
All right, Michelle, we know you'll be tracking this one closely. Some neighborhoods in the meantime in Spokane are still recovering from the windstorm earlier this year. Now Avista crews are once again preparing for damage and potential outages. KREM 2's Brandon T. Jones checked in on a local park that got hit the hardest.
Overnight windstorms in the region have been a major problem.
How long have you been living here?
Since 2007.
Okay, so you've been here for a while now. And
yeah, I went through that one severe storm we had a few years back where we had no power for 6 days.
Comstock Park was an area hammered by strong gusts during the last windstorm in January. Trees took out power lines, fell on houses and cars, causing damage that's still being worked on to this day. It's actually quite amazing how powerful Mother Nature is. I mean, I take a look at something like this right behind me. Looks like a fence from a baseball field, and you can see just how strong these winds were and just completely crumpled it up like it was a piece of paper. During the last windstorm, more than 200 trees were downed at 25 park properties throughout Spokane. The city is close to finishing the cleanup process, but that could become an issue if more damage occurs this weekend. You really got to be on the lookout for a lot of those big spruce trees and the pine trees because those are hundreds of years old, and when strong winds roll through, they can easily topple them over. The city has also applied for FEMA funds to help replace damaged fences, playgrounds, and other park structures that took a hit in January. They plan on replacing 2 trees for every one that was lost.
And people don't have a lot of money and resources right now, so it's a real bad time for that to happen.
Avista has said they expect power outages to be a problem this weekend because of the recent rain that might make it easier for trees to fall over. In preparation for any damage, utility crews and assessment teams are on standby. From Spokane, Brandon T. Jones, KREM 2 News.
The countdown is on. March Madness is more than halfway over and Gonzaga remains the team to beat. They take on Creighton tomorrow in the Sweet 16 in the quest for the national title. We do have team coverage tonight, starting with Mark Hanrahan and Brenna Green, who are in Indianapolis covering all things Gonzaga.
Good evening from downtown Indianapolis. It is warm, it is sunny, and by Spokane standards, it is a beautiful day. Brenna, hard to believe we're more than halfway through March Madness.
Yeah, but hopefully we're not halfway through our time here in Indianapolis. Gonzaga less than 24 hours away from tip-off against Creighton.
As we all know, this is far from a normal year. Capacity at the venues where the teams are playing capped at 25%, which makes getting a ticket for a game just that much more complicated. However, that is not stopping some dedicated Gonzaga fans from making the 2,000-mile trip to Indy. Among them, the former mayor of Wallace, Idaho, Dick Vester, and his wife Laurel. They've been GU season ticket holders for the past 15 years. They rarely miss a home game and often travel to watch the Bulldogs in postseason play, but this year with the pandemic, they haven't been to a single game. That all changes tomorrow. Dick says they booked their hotel here before they even knew if they'd be able to get a ticket. Fortunately, they did get tickets for tomorrow's game, and they couldn't be happier.
It's a lot of effort to fly across the country, especially during a pandemic, and to try to get tickets during a situation when they're so limited. Why was it important for you guys to be here, to come here?
Well, I think we're just longtime Zag fans and wanted the opportunity. We have not flown since COVID started, and since we're both vaccinated, we felt more comfortable about that, and the world is kind of opening up again.
And we have such a good chance this year. We have such a good chance, we couldn't miss it.
Give it up. So Dick and Laurel say they have their room for the next 10 nights. As you just heard, they are pretty confident the Zags will keep their unbeaten streak alive as they continue to advance for the tourney. If the Zags do advance to the Elite Eight, they are confident they'll be able to get tickets for that round and beyond, they hope. They're feeling pretty good, Brenna. They're both vaccinated, and they get to watch their favorite team play in person finally. But it is not just fans who made the trip out here.
Yeah, lots of families of players as well. However, Max Graves, son of Oregon women's basketball head coach Kelly Graves and brother of Gonzaga walk-on Will Graves, is in a unique position.
Are you the only person you know that has now been to both the men's and women's tournaments this year?
I think so. How lucky am I that I get to go to both?
Just a few days ago, Max Graves was in Texas watching his dad in Oregon take on South Dakota and Georgia in the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. The Ducks beat the Bulldogs in the second round on Wednesday, which meant Max had to make a choice: stay in Texas and watch his dad in the Sweet 16, or come to Indy and watch his brother in the Sweet 16.
It was an easy call. Just getting to see my brother is really, really cool. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And I got to see my dad. You know, their 2 wins were awesome, but yeah, it's special. I mean, I can't go wrong.
Thankfully, Dad saw it the same way.
He wanted me to. He said, you know, you've been here. I was there for the Pac-12 tournament. I was there for the first 2 games. He's like, go see your brother. Your mom and your other brother can't do it yet, so go see your brother. And I'm happy. I'm happy to be here.
Max is a graduate of Gonzaga Prep, and his dad Kelly was the Gonzaga women's basketball head coach before making the move to Eugene. Max's brother Will, being a Gonzaga basketball player, means a lot to the family.
His whole life, being a Gonzaga basketball player has been about the coolest thing that you could do.
But it's at another level with this team this year.
Now he's a part of the golden era, I guess, of Gonzaga basketball, which is pretty special. I mean, it's my little brother. I get to go see my little brother, you know, hopefully have a chance at an undefeated season.
Mark Few said in a press conference the other day how much Will's energy has helped impact this team this year. He said he hears Will all the time on the bench during the games. Max told me his family was really proud when they heard Few say that.
And I might just mention, he couldn't be a nicer guy, Max. So.
Oh my gosh. The Graves family, I said this to you. Right. I want to be adopted by them. If you want a daughter, because they have 3 sons, I'm willing, I'm available.
Okay. So. In the meantime, be sure to tune in tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock. We have a special previewing Gonzaga's matchup against Creighton. That game takes place at 11:10 right here on KREM 2. I'm Mark Hanrahan. She's Brenna Green. That's the very latest from Indy. For now, we'll send things back to you.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Well, the presidents of Gonzaga University and Creighton have a friendly wager over tomorrow's game. It all started on Twitter when the president of Creighton said he would send a case of famous Omaha steaks to Spokane if the Zags win. So Gonzaga president, of course, Thane McCullough said, I'm in. He agreed to send a crate of Washington apples and some fine wine if the Blue Jays somehow pull out a win. The losing team's president will also donate to the winning team's local food bank.